think I like your olive theory.
I think I like your new French roll.
I think I like your nose.
I think I'm in love with you.
What? What? You love me?
I can't believe I said that. Why did I say that? Who says that?
You love me?
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Rep.
And I'm Tam.
And welcome to this special edition of Blah Blah Marry Me podcast. What are we doing today, Tam?
This is a little bit of bonus material, I guess. We are going to share our reactions to our episode 3. I don't know about you, Rap, but episode 3 was a little heavy for me.
It was definitely kind of heavy for me too.
Yeah, I don't think neither one of us expected for that to come out of that when we decided that's what we were going to talk about. I think the most surprising thing is we both told stories about ourselves to each other that we hadn't told before. So,
yeah, it was like brand new information.
It really was. Yeah. Well, and it's because when things happen and when they're don't have the best memories attached to them, you don't necessarily want to tell people that and relive that, multiple times more than you need to. So I think for that reason is probably why we just hadn't shared that with each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like super surprised at like the things that you shared about your experience with your ex. And yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, it was a long time ago, but it's still like when we were talking about it, it still felt like it happened like last month or something. I mean, there aren't any more feelings that's still attached, but it just felt like just talking about it, just kind of, reliving it. It was just a little like,
the feelings just, they come back.
That.
Like you can't help it. It almost takes you back to that same exact time that you were in. And so for me, I mean, it was kind of cringy to listen to, not going to lie. It was really like, I don't know, we're going to talk about this. And so while it was super cringy to listen to, it's also
it was therapeutic.
Yeah, no, definitely very therapeutic. And it's been so far my favorite episode that we've done because I feel like we were the most honest and raw in that episode. And I know we're still getting to know this process and each other through this process. And we're getting better, but this is like also for people to get to know us. Like, why should they listen to us, and why do they continue to listen to us? And it's like, I think through sharing these experiences and these stories that people are getting to know us and hopefully can relate, because
definitely
there's just a lot of stuff that can happen with when you bring up the past. So
I know. And since the episode release, which was last week, it's been awesome to get a lot of support and feedback from our friends.
Oh, for sure. Like people I don't talk to normally that like sent me a Instagram message or a text or something that were like, oh my gosh, I listened to episode 3 and wow, I didn't know that, and thank you for sharing. Like, I totally relate. Like, that was something I didn't expect, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I got a text message from my old buddy from high school. I haven't really talked to him in a long time. He was like, bro, I just listened to episode 3. I'm like, I just want to go over there and give you a hug, man.
Aww.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
even my compadre called
man.
me. Yeah, he called me and was so hype about it. Was like, I just listened to episode 3. Oh my gosh, texting was taking too long and I had to call you and tell you my reactions. And it's funny because like he's not like a person I would think would be like an ideal, like be able to listen to this and to relate. But I've known him for such a long time that I think that he, stuff about me that he knew, but he didn't know that stuff about you. And, we've all hung out together. And so now he knows you a little bit. And I was like, you're, and I think I told you too, like, oh, you're best friends with him now. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
BFFs, total BFFs.
Yeah, he's definitely a fan. So I thought that was really sweet. But, yeah, I don't know. I think the most cringy thing for me to listen to about that whole thing was that I didn't want it to make it seem like listening back to it that I didn't like kids. I felt like it made it sound like, oh, I hate them and they're just little creatures.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what I meant, like, at all. It's just that I don't think kids are anything to get over. It's just that at that time in my life that I just wasn't ready for it. And I've always liked kids. I've always liked them. And, you know, I'm the oldest in my family and have always taken care of, like, my younger cousins, my siblings, everything. So it's not that I don't like kids. It's just that I was not ready to be in that role yet. So, yeah. I don't know. I just listening back, I was like, oh, that sounds kind of bad. Like, I didn't want to make it seem like I didn't like kids at all. It's just that I wasn't ready at that time. But, you know, being 32 now, most likely going to be a package deal, and I'm cool.
Most likely.
Yeah,
definitely.
most likely. So it's all good. It was just kind of funny listening back to that part of it. Was there any parts that made you feel like that too, that they were like, ooh, kind of hard to listen?
I want to, yeah, definitely the part where I'm like, I turn into a stalker, because that's...
it's definitely not a shining moment.
No, it's not. I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not a shining moment. Definitely cringy to hear back. Like,
yeah.
Son of a bitch. But I think it was a couple of nights before the release. I couldn't sleep, and I mentioned in the podcast where I wanted to like write a song about her, about my ex, you know?
Yeah.
And so I figured, you know what, like, the feelings are still fresh, the memories are still fresh. Let me see what I can do. And so I started writing like at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I busted out a whole like a verse, and I ended up posting it to like my Snapchat story and my Instagram. But it felt kind of good to like kind of let it out a little bit.
Sure.
I don't know,
And that's what I was like. For you, it's been a long time, like since that happened.
Yeah.
And so listening back to it, I was like, I still feel like you're bothered by it. You know, like that you're just kind of bothered by what happened still. Like it still kind of haunts you a little bit. And
you know,
so, go ahead.
I feel like the memory is just fresh because yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It takes a long time for me to get over things. It takes a long time for me to like let go of things. I'm not gonna lie about that. And even though it happened a good long time ago, I still feel like it just happened just the other day.
Sure.
But I'm totally okay. Like I'm still not like, you know, crippled by it. I'm still totally okay. I just like the memory is just still fresh still.
Yeah, the memory, like when you talk about it, makes the memory fresh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's and that's why when I was like writing my little verse or whatever the other night, I was totally okay with it. It wasn't until like I got to the end of what I was writing where it got kind of like, oh shit, I'm finally replying to her letter, and that's when it got kind of like, that's when I got a little bit emotional, but I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and then too, like I felt like you just constantly like getting it out, because I feel like you really haven't talked about it that much. And so I feel like us talking about it, like the first few times I listened to that episode, like even before released, I like wanted to cry. Like not just for myself, but for you too, because I felt like I could just feel it, like I could feel the emotion, just it came across like so genuine, and like, so it made me feel very emotional. But I feel like the more times I've listened to that episode, the less and less like it impacts me a little bit. But I think that comes with like just talking about it. Like it's, you know, talking about things more regularly makes them not special, if that makes like sense.
Yeah. You become immune to it, diluted to it. It's I totally get what you're feeling, but you're right. It was just something that I had not talked to anybody about. Kind of just held it in because I don't know. I just wasn't something to talk about.
Sure.
And
well, even like listening with Michael Madre a little bit, she was like, "Oh, he's acting like he's never heard that story." like what I was telling you. And I was like, because he hasn't. Like, I never told him that story. Like, I've not told a lot of people that. It's like, and me, I had never heard what he had told me either. Like, you know, so like for real, we were super like surprised. Like all the reactions were completely real. And so
Exactly. That's what made episode 3 just so raw and felt uncut. You know, it was definitely something. It was definitely something. It definitely had a beer afterwards, because that was just like,
no, for sure.
Oof.
I remember after we did that one, I think we just stared into nothing for like 2 hours.
We did,
because we were just like, both of us were like, I need a break.
Yeah,
I need to not do anything for a little bit, and we didn't. We just watched TV, didn't do anything for like a couple hours after that. But yeah, that was
just
that was a doozy.
Yeah, and I think it was like the next day where I remember like, I'm started like the next day I started remembering like little bits and pieces that I forgot that I didn't mention it in the episode. I'm like, oh shit, I kind of remember now what she said in that letter. Like, I don't remember the whole thing, but I remember like bits and pieces of it. I'm like, holy shit, like, damn. And then I remember okay. So another thing to be real about, like, I kind of got screwed over a couple times, and so that's why like I've had trust issues. You know, especially for me not being able to let go of things real easily. And then on top of that, having trust issues, it's like that was just a bad mix, you know, to have, especially with her having like working all those long times. And I'm like, maybe, you know, just
so because of prior experiences, not necessarily her, but prior bad experiences that like affected that relationship that you had with her.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. She was, from what I could tell, like it was just nothing. I got no bad vibes from her. It was just bad experiences. Bad history.
Got it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Thank you.
We've learned from them. They've definitely been learning experience. We learned a lot about each other in that episode. So yeah, that doesn't go. That just goes to show you, it doesn't like matter how long you know somebody. Just depending on what kind of relationship you have with them. Like, are you very surface, or are you very like, do you go deep? You know. And you
like,
and I,
like that guy that you were with for like 3 years. I mean, it felt like you guys were just like barely on the surface.
Yeah.
And then the guy that you were with for 6 months, I mean, you guys totally dug straight in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, sort of, you know.
Yeah. No, it just yeah. I think you hit that one on the head. So, and even just like reactions like from people that were like knew me during that time when I was with that first guy. They were like, why did you not talk about him? Like, he was an asshole. Like, why did you not talk more about that? That, you know, how crappy he was and this and that. And I was like,
yeah.
That one was like, not, again, like I said, not the hardest one to get over. That one was done. Like, from the second that we were like, this is not going to work. So, yeah, it just depends, I guess, what kind of relationship, like... and that's been super eye-opening for me. He's like being super surface level. How are you today?
Yep.
I'm good.
Yep.
You know.
And yep.
There's a difference between that with how was your day? Tell me how, like, what it was. Like, you know, how was your coworker that you were telling me about yesterday that was bothering the crap out of you? How did that work out? Like, that's a deeper question than how are you? How are you is just a...
It's just what you. It's just another way of saying hello.
Yeah.
You know, how you doing? What's up? What's going on? Yeah. Yeah.
How are you today?
I totally get that.
Yeah. How are you today?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's it's just not. It's not very deep. Deeper questions are remembering things about people and asking them to go further into that conversation. Hey, I know your mom was sick. How is she doing? That's, you know, like there's differences in questions like that than like, how are you today? So I think that's probably differences between relationships, all kinds of them. So anyway.
Well, I mean, we got through episode 3.
We
and
did.
I think that was like, you know,
was a
that
hard-
was like the most emotional, draining episode we've done so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely think we've learned, not just from that experience, but also from recording it too. I felt like we've just kind of, it's opened up our eyes a little bit.
Definitely.
And I just, yeah. And then so moving forward, like what, I don't know, is there anything that you feel like you've left out, like that you didn't put it in that episode? Or you think you've got it all out?
No, I think I got it out. I don't think there was
You think you got
anything.
it out?
Yeah, I don't think there was any kind of crazy, like even thinking about the first one, because I didn't talk about him a lot. Yeah, he just sucked. Like,
He just,
that was it. So,
I hear you.
I think we're good. I think we've both learned a lot from these relationships. I think we know
Yeah.
what we expect and what we're not going to accept in relationships now. So it's almost like they had
Yep.
to happen. You know, like they had
Yeah.
to happen so that we could learn this about ourselves. And then we had to talk about this, like also to learn more about ourselves, and like for me to learn about you and you to learn more about me. Like we had to talk about this, and I'm really grateful that we did.
Yeah, me too.
And super glad for
And-
us not being scared to talk about it, even though it was scary.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. And again, just want to reiterate how much I appreciate like the support that we've gotten from our friends. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate everybody listening, and we hope that you just continue to learn more about us as we continue to do this podcast. And definitely reach out to us. Like, we want to hear from people. So we are on Instagram at blah blah marry me, and on Facebook at blah blah marry me podcast. You could shoot us an email at contact@blahblahmarryme.com. Our website's up. That also has a lot of information about us. So I feel like we're really being an open book at this point. We are just
I think so too.
putting it all out there.
Yeah, and especially
So-
like I'm a private person. Like I don't really post a lot of things on social media, and I don't tell a lot of things to like a lot of people, even though
Yeah.
like they're really good friends. I don't tell them certain things. But like I feel like with this, like yeah, I'm an open book now.
Yeah, we are getting past our comfort level. Like the saying goes, greatness is beyond your comfort level. That's been my new favorite one lately. So,
Okay. Mine is still don't be a little bitch.
I'm going to go, that's still a really great one. But in terms of our being comfortable, like this is not a comfortable thing
I
to
get
talk
you.
about. Like you
Yeah.
are not comfortable talking about this, like period. So that's what I'm saying. We are reaching past our comfort levels and hoping to make more friends through this.
Yes.
People that more friends, like all you guys listening, just people who relate to us, and hope that we talk about things that are very relatable for people. So anyway, this was a bonus episode, our reaction video, I guess, to our episode 3. We release every Thursday. This one will come out before the next episode, but anything else, Rap?
No, just thank you guys for listening, and thank you
Yes.
guys for interacting with us as well.
For sure. We definitely appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Yep. Y'all be easy. Y'all do easy. Y'all take it easy. Be easy, be hoes.
Be easy.
You love me?
Y'all, be easy. That's did you see my face? I was like,
You love me?
Y'all
Okay.
take it easy. Y'all
That's a
take it
better
easy.
one. That's a better
Okay.
one, Rap. Y'all take it
Okay.
easy.
Y'all be easy, be hoes. Oh, I'm totally gonna leave that in.
Oh, man.